in meditation, and I'm able to connect to something that I'm not always able to connect with when I'm conscious. And so being able to do this sort of act over and over again becomes sort of therapy and meditation. And then, so this is a piece that I did called Change Silhouette. It's completely out of ceramic. It is all ceramic chains. And so a lot of time people ask me like, how do I do it? And there really is no secret. Like, it's just one at a time. You just have to link each link together and figure out the pattern, and then hope and pray that it doesn't break in the kiln. But I was working through a lot of grief from the death of my grandfather. It was really the first time I experienced death in my life, and so like again, I really wanted to create something in memory for him and honor him, and then also allow myself to have a sense of healing in the process as well. Yeah. Yeah. So they're all individual foils, and then you have the right size that you want, so the right length, and then you cut them, and then it's kind of an art to knowing how wet or dry your clay is, because if it gets too dry, you can't actually make the foil into a ring. If it's too wet, it just kind of smushes and falls apart. So you just kind of have to like have that sort of relationship with the material, and kind of know it inherently, and then just go one by one, like one ring at a time, each layer at a time. It begins to fold onto itself, and so it becomes like it has this really beautiful sound to it as well when you link it together. It's almost like when it hangs in the wind, like in this picture, you can kind of hear it when the wind goes. So yeah. Thanks for the question.
How long does it stay flexible?
It's flexible. Once it's fired, it doesn't change. So it is flexible until the end of time or until someone breaks it. Yeah. So yeah, once ceramic is, or once clay is fired, there's a reason why we're still finding like porcelain from like ancient China, ancient Japan, ancient Greece, because if you take good care of it, and that it can last, like it will last all of us in this room. But it does have this like sort of juxtaposition, because if you drop it, it is like done in an instant, right? So there's this like really there's this sort of like juxtaposition between how fragile it is versus like the inherent strength in the material that is really interesting for chains, at least for me.
Did you fire it all at once?
Yeah, so this one was fired all at once. If you know a little bit about ceramics, there's a two firing process. So it goes through what's called a bisque firing, which is about halfway, and then the final glaze firing goes to 2,300 degrees Fahrenheit. So I did sections first for the first firing, and then I connected them, and then I just went all the way. And so it was one firing for the glaze firing. Yeah. And so this is another iteration of my chain work. I was kind of deconstructing the flag a little bit. So there's 50 stars, and then there's also these. I believe I did like 13 white stripes. For this work, it's about 22 feet long. So it's really gigantic, but yeah, I'm trying to understand this symbol that I have grown up with my entire life, but never really felt like it represented me wholly, and so I really wanted to see what it meant to fire something into existence when, typically fire is what destroys, and so a lot of it is about my own reckoning and coming to a sense of self, but that's kind of my experience with working with this project. So this is so this is another project that I did. This was about, so I was really interested in exploring the notion of writings on the wall, and how throughout human history there's always been a sort of need for people to leave their mark on the wall, whether it be like cave paintings, graffiti, writing on the bathroom walls, even when we're children, like we instinctually know to write on the walls before we're told that it's bad. So I wanted to understand what it meant to mark something, and so this was my kind of endurance piece. And these are all my fingerprints, one by one. The studio that I covered was about like 20 feet by 5 feet, or 20 feet by 6 feet, I believe. So I covered all the walls, and it was, again, that meditative process for me to kind of go outside my mind, connect with something maybe higher, and allow myself to kind of make this connection to this earthly material, and also what comes out of it is this visual language that, I'm not sure what it means, it looks kind of like Braille sometimes, or like just some random marks, but I feel the more I look at it, the more I feel like it is, connecting to something primal and this life source that is in all of us, and that is innate, and that we have this sort of connection to.
Where was that?
So this was at UH. I did this in one of the student galleries there, but it was like a ephemeral piece, meaning that it was put up for a week. So I filmed it for about 3 days that I spent on it, and then about a week, and then I have to scrape it all down. I don't think I included what I did with the remnants, but I ended up putting them all in like plastic bags, and then it became some my fingerprints. Yeah, I had like an open studio where people would come in and watch me, and it was really interesting. I don't do a lot of performance work, but it was about a sense of connection. Like at some point I just felt like there's nothing else in the world besides me and my fingerprint, which is a really